Good day. Thank you for joining us for today's news. If you found this helpful, please consider subscribing. We're here every day with calm, clear updates just for you.
In the tragic case of 5-year-old Malachi Subecz, the daycare he attended in Tauranga claims it saw no signs of danger before his murder in 2021. His mother, Jasmine Cotter, was in prison, and his care was handed over to her friend Michaela Barabal, who later killed him. During the inquest, the daycare manager said she had a positive impression of Barabal, and Malachi was well-dressed and happy to see her. However, when Malachi's cousin raised concerns about his care, the daycare did not act as the cousin was not listed as a family contact. Later, staff noticed bruises on Malachi, but they accepted Barabal's explanation that he had fallen off his bike. A doctor who examined the photos of the injuries expressed concerns that a bicycle fall was unlikely to cause such harm. The daycare was later ordered to close due to licensing issues, and the manager faced complaints for her role in the case. The inquest has highlighted serious gaps in child protection systems and the need for better training and communication between agencies as the court continues its investigation. The tragedy of Malachi's death has sparked urgent calls for reform in how children are protected from harm.
A bright and ambitious law student, Tessa Elizabeth McIntosh Shield, has been tragically killed in a crash on State Highway 1 near Mooraki Boulders. She was on her way back to the University of Otago to begin her second semester when the accident occurred. Tessa was described as a driven and passionate young woman who was actively involved in legal groups and had formed strong bonds with her coworkers at Liquorland Leith Street. Her death has left a deep void in the lives of those who knew her, and the community is struggling to cope with the loss. This tragedy has come as a double blow for many in Dunedin following the recent death of another young man, Jock Davies, in a hunting accident on Stewart Island.
In a shocking case that has crossed international borders, Michael Reps, a former New Zealand company director, has been sentenced to at least 4 years in a U.S. prison for stealing millions of dollars worth of gold and silver from his elderly father. The theft, valued at around 23.5 million New Zealand dollars, has drawn widespread appeal. Reps, who has a history of financial misconduct in New Zealand, pleaded no contest to a felony theft charge in April. Prosecutors described the crime as a calculated betrayal of trust, with some of the stolen metals still missing. During the hearing, Reps claimed his actions were driven by desperation. He also suggested that his father's longtime girlfriend was the one who should be most concerned about the theft. Reps' legal troubles in New Zealand began in 2018 when he and his company were charged with breaching financial service provider rules. In 2021, he received a sentence of community detention and community work. Now, with his recent sentencing in Wyoming, Reps faces the full weight of the law for his actions. The case raises important questions about the ethical responsibilities of family members and the consequences of training. The story serves as a cautionary tale for others who may be tempted by similar temptations.
A 6-year-old boy in Kentucky died by suicide after receiving AI-generated sextortion threats, revealing the growing use of AI nudify apps to exploit and blackmail minors. The FBI has reported a spike in such cases with perpetrators using AI. Despite global efforts to combat this, the industry remains profitable and resilient, with many sites continuing to operate despite crackdowns. Experts are calling for stronger internationals of AI-generated abuse.
2 teenagers have been accused of a shocking 500-kilometer crime spree after allegedly stealing an Uber Eats car in Invercargill and driving it all the way to Christchurch. The vehicle was used in a series of offenses, including petrol thefts and Christchurch. The pair also allegedly stole tools from a local store, fleeing from security after being caught on camera. Police say the stolen car was involved in dangerous driving and that the teenager, Nell Robertson, called the situation extremely fortunate that no one was injured. The youths are now facing multiple charges, and police are urging the public to come forward with any information. This case has sparked concern about youth involvement in crime and the risks of reckless behavior. As the investigation continues, the stolen car was eventually recovered, but the impact of the incident is still being felt.
In a startling sequence of events, 4 crashes occurred within just 40 minutes across Hawke's Bay, leaving 2 people seriously injured. The first incident took place on Kennedy RD in Napier, where a 3-vehicle collision left 1 person in critical condition. Soon after, a vehicle was found, prompting a search. Another crash on Ingadaraba RD caused no injuries, but a 4th incident on Neve RD left the driver with serious injuries. Meanwhile, a section of State Highway 2 was closed for over 12 hours due to a truck and trailer flipping over. These multiple incidents in such a short time have raised concern. Local authorities are now reviewing the events, looking for ways to prevent similar occurrences in the future. The focus remains on the injured individuals and the broader implications for road safety across the region.
In a bold move ahead of the 3rd test against France, All Blacks coach Scott Robertson has reshaped his lineup with 10 changes, signaling a new era of future-proofing for the team. This includes no specialist lock on the bench, a calculated risk aimed at fostering versatility among player Absamateyi. Robertson's strategy emphasizes trust in emerging talent, even as the core of the team remains strong with experienced players like Anton Leonard-Brown and Ethan de Groot. This approach is not just about the current match, but also about preparing for the challenge ahead, including the 2027 World Cup, and demanding in 2000. While some may see this as a high-risk move, the balance of youth and experience within the 23 suggests a well-considered plan to ensure the All Blacks remain competitive both now and in the future.
In the quiet town of Waiuku, a devastating triple-fatal crash has left a family shattered and a community reeling. Frances Latuvelia, her daughter and niece were killed in a tragic accident on Masters. A young mother of 3, including an 8-week-old baby, was described as a devoted mother who would do anything. Her husband, Amaniki Bailia, is now the sole caregiver for their family, but he has been overwhelmed by the outpouring of support from the community. A Give a Little page set up in their honor has already raised over $30,000, giving the family some much-needed relief. The crash was discovered by a local man who immediately sprang into action, helping to free the trapped individuals. Emergency services praised the professionalism of the ORM. As the family tries to heal, the tragedy has sparked conversations about road safety and the need for continued efforts to prevent such heartbreak in the future. Auckland's Carmel College has entered a lockdown after an unspecified incident. The school confirmed that all students and staff are safe, but urged the public not to come to the school or call during the lockdown as it could hinder the response and put people at risk. The nature of the incident remained its where. A worker near the school reported no visible police presence and said it looked like a normal day. Located on Auckland's North Shore, Carmel College serves students from Year 7 to 13. The incident has raised concerns about safety and security in schools.
The All Blacks are set to face France in the final match of their July series, and coach Scott Robertson has made some major lineup changes for the crucial encounter. 7 players have been named in the 23-man squad for the first time this season, with several returning from injury to take their place in the starting lineup. Demian McKenzie will start at first 5 in place of the injured Bowden Barrett, while hooker Brody McAllister is set to debut if he comes on as a replacement. Prop Tyrol Lomax, loose forward Luke Jacobson, and backs Anton Leonard, Brown and Severis have all made their return from injury, adding valuable fullback Ruben Love will make his second test appearance, and the reserves will see debuts from George Bauer, Dalton Papali'i, and Noah Hotham. Robertson expressed confidence in the team's ability to perform against a determined French side, emphasizing their preparation and the support of the passionate fans in Hamilton. The French team is expected to be named later tonight, with Fabien Galfi likely to revert to his starting lineup from the first test. This match will not only be a test of skill and endurance, but also a celebration of the players' resilience and the team's evolving strategy.
As Auckland prepares for a significant population increase, the city faces the challenge and quality of life for its residents. A pre-election report highlights the key issues, including infrastructure and assessments, as Trilatfai Nimpasin Saling.
Bowden Barrett, one of the All Blacks' most talented playmakers, is facing a new injury challenge as he prepares for an X-ray on his right hand. The injury, which first appeared during the Super Rugby Pacific season, has now raised questions about his availability for the Rugby Championship. Barrett wasn't named in the squad for Saturday's match against France in Hamilton, a decision made by coach Scott Robertson, who emphasized the team's commitment to player welfare. While Barrett's absence is a major blow to the team, the All Blacks will have to find new ways to inspire their players as they prepare for the next match against Arbor. The injury history of Barrett, a key leader on the field, adds another layer of uncertainty to the team's strategy moving forward. For now, the focus remains on ensuring his recovery and preparing for the challenges ahead.
The All Blacks are making a bold move by reshaping their team for the third test against France. In Hamilton, Ruben Love is set to make his first Runan Test appearance, marking a significant moment in his career. Severis and Luke Jacobson are expected to bring new energy to the team. Coach Scott Robertson has emphasized the importance of this match, with the All Blacks preparing to face a determined French side in front of a passionate, sold-out crowd.
A sudden and intense fire broke out in a villa on Hawk Lane in St. Leonard's, Dunedin, on Thursday afternoon just before 3 p.m. Firefighters arrived to find the property awful. The cause of the fire is still unknown, and the investigation is ongoing. This incident has once again emphasized the importance of fire safety in residential areas. Local authorities are urging residents to remain vigilant in Passini, Casatre. The community is now left to grapple with the aftermath of this sudden and devastating event. As the investigation continues, the focus remains on the recovery efforts and the ongoing inquiry into the cause of the blaze.
In early June, 2 New Zealand fur seals were found decapitated at Muriwai Beach, sparking a major investigation by the Department of Conservation. The seals discovered with their heads removed have been confirmed to be the result of Human Apples Protection Act 1978, which prohibits disturbing or hardy. DOC officials have launched an ongoing investigation and are urging anyone with information to come forward. The incident has raised concerns about the treatment of protected wildlife and the need for public awareness about the consequences of it with these animals. Separately, a boat skipper has been reported for steering his vessel through a pod of dolphins. As the investigation continues, authorities are calling for the public's help in protecting New Zealand's marine life.
Farmers in the Tasman region are preparing for more heavy rain as long-term weather forecasts predict continued wet conditions, raising fears of further flooding and potential economic impact on the farming community.
In a major legal development, South Korea's Supreme Court has upheld the acquittal of Samsung Electronics Chairman Lee Jae-yong, ending a long-running legal battle over the company's 2015 merger. The ruling, which clears Lee of charge parliamentary and shareholder rights. Prosecutors had argued that the merger unfairly benefited the Lee family at the expense of minority shareholders, but the courts found insufficient evidence to support these claims. This decision marks a turning point for Samsung Finance's handled in South Korea. Lee, who has led the company since 2014, was pre-den. The case has been a focal point for discussions on transparency and fairness in larger-scale corporate transactions, and the Supreme Court's decision may influence future legal challenges in the region.
The All Blacks are preparing for the final test match of their series against France, set to take place in Hamilton for several weeks. This match is more than just another game. It's a chance to make a statement and solidify the team's success in the 2025 season. The All Blacks arrived in Hamilton this week, while the French team chose to stay in Auckland for as long as possible, citing training preferences. Despite this, the local rugby community has been buzzing with excitement, with fans and locals showing strong support for the All Blacks. The team has a strong history in Hamilton, having only lost once in their 7th. However, the All Blacks are not underestimating the French, who have a nothing tolos mindset with 7 Chiefs players in the starting lineup. The All Blacks are looking to finish the series on a high note as the match day approaches. The atmosphere in Hamilton is electric, with fans eagerly awaiting what could be a defining moment in the 2025 season.
A logging company in Wai, New Zealand has been fined $112,500 for causing long-term environmental $500. The company, Seaview Logging Limited, and its director, Graham Howard Saville, were found guilty of breaching Nam District Court. 在 multiple inspections and abatement notices from the Waikato Regional Council, the company failed to address the issues leading to severe pollution of the Waitahike stream. The court found the company's actions to be deliberate and reckless, with Judge Lauren Semple describing the behavior. The case has sparked discussions about the need for stronger enforcement of environmental standards in the forestry sector. Environmental groups have welcomed the fine as a necessary step toward holding companies as